All right, we're going to get started here. I'm very excited here to have our next guest. Was really pumped for the previous guest, but I'm really pumped for this one too. Both different kinds of backgrounds, but perfect for the Founders Lounge. So our next guest is Adriana Carrig.
Yes.
She's the founder and CEO of Little Words Project. Little Words Project encourages women to both be kind to themselves and to others. They're handcrafted bracelets, which I have on my arm. Mine says trust. Are made each different with inspirational words. And Adriana, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
All right. So first off, you got these bracelets. I always like to figure out, how did you get started doing this? And I've got there are actually some younger ones here too as well that might be loving these bracelets. And I like it too, but it's got a whole story, I'm assuming. And so I want to hear, when did you know, I got to start this Little Words Project?
Yeah, so I grew up my entire life dealing with negativity from others. I was bullied from a very young age, and I wanted to create something that was about inspiring kindness and self-love. Mm-hmm. So enter the Little Word. I created my first batch of them in college, in my college sorority, and we passed them kind of amongst ourselves as little tokens of inspiration and kindness and love, and it really helped breed sisterhood. So when I did eventually graduate and end up going into the working world, I saw that this kind of cruelty that exists often amongst females and just people at large, unfortunately, was still happening. And I wanted to, bring that sisterhood experience that I had in my sorority at college to the world. So that's kind of where the bracelet became more of a mass market product. And the entire concept of them.
That's pretty cool. So you started, how long ago was that when you started that?
2013. So it's been almost 11 years in business. Yeah.
Wow. So like an instant success.
Right, exactly. It was very easy and overnight.
Right. So keep going. So sorry to interrupt there.
So no, it's fine. The concept is you wear your word for as long as you need it, and the idea is to pass it on one day to someone who needs it more. Mm-hmm. And then the best part is that each one has a little code on the tag that you can use to connect the bracelet on our website.
Mine. It says so mine says trust.
Yep.
And then the back says...
That's our logo, and if you flip it under that, you'll see a code that's unique to that bracelet.
Yeah.
So you would use that to connect it to our website, and then when you do eventually pass it along, you can track and see where it goes.
You don't want to tell people your code. Is it kind of like your social number? You don't tell people?
You could tell people.
Okay.
Yeah, you can tell. Okay. I mean, you don't need to, but
I just wanted out. Okay, secure it was. Okay. So, and then once you do that, it tracks it and figures out where it goes, and then at the end of the day, my trust band could end up in who knows.
Correct. You never know how your single act of kindness will affect people down the
really
line,
cool.
and we're the only jewelry brand that's allowing you to track that kind of impact that you're having through your kindness.
It kind of reminds me of the balloon release I used to do in middle school or when I was youngster in elementary school, where you release this balloon with like a little note,
and you never know who's going to
find it.
Right,
but it was terrible for the environment. This is way better.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can continue to track it after it pops.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Awesome. So, all right, I love that. And so basically you started doing it, continue to grow. At what point did you say, okay, this is like, you started, doing it as a fun thing, and now it's turned into a business, and we got to get this going. Like, when did you realize that, and how did that turn into what it is today?
I think honestly at the outset of starting the brand as a full bore brand after college, and I had the idea for the code and the traceability concept, that's when I really decided then it was going to be a brand. We didn't go like the standard Etsy route, which a lot of jewelry makers will do, and really wanted to be intentional about the brand's storytelling and the marketing around it. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a $25 beaded friendship bracelet, which now, with the likes of Taylor Swift, and as we've seen that happen.
She wears these, right?
She does wear Little Words.
This is a Taylor Swift bracelet.
Correct. Well,
not this one specific. Well, we could track it. Maybe she went and saw the trust one went around? I don't know.
The Taylor Swift story is we had we have a good relationship with Lance Bass, actually, of NSYNC, which I think is kind of like even cooler. And he requested bracelets ahead of the VMAs where we were able to hand deliver them to him. He then handed her award for Best Pop in September at the VMAs, and in doing so handed her a stack of Little Words bracelets.
Wow.
And she said, thank you for the friendship bracelet. So we definitely know
Thank you, Lance Bass. That's
right.
A huge,
thank you, Lance Bass. 100%. So we definitely know that she wears our product, as well as Lance, Alicia Keys, Millie Bobby Brown, just a whole host of incredible celebrities that really got behind our brand.
Does Noah Khan wear them?
He doesn't yet, but I love Noah Khan, and I will get
you got a Noah Khan fan.
I will get them.
Hear that, Simon?
What do you mean? Is Noah Khan here?
Oh, he might be later.
All right, I would love to meet him. His girlfriend wears them, according to my
his girlfriend wears them. Oh, wow, that's fantastic.
Very exciting.
I'm a big fan of Noah Khan. That's why I was curious.
Yeah, me too. I love love his music.
Okay.
Yeah.
So keep on moving here. So why the Little Words Project? How did that get evolved? Was that always called the Little Words Project?
The name?
Yes.
No. So I really, little words, just kind of what they are. They are little words of inspiration, and little words can have a major impact if you're using them in the right, for positive purpose. Words in general have a major impact, and they really do matter. So that's what we were trying to craft. But the project we added to kind of inspire movement and make it feel like a real community, which is what makes this brand what it is. It's just a community.
It's community. And so with that community element, like, are there people connecting? Like, are people able to connect with each other, or is there what else do you do?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, the whole concept of wearing them and passing them on, it's driving real interpersonal communication, interpersonal connection with people, which in this disconnected world that we live in this world of just, everyone's just lonely, right? And that's kind of what we're seeing in the wake of the pandemic, even more so. The bracelets are really meant to inspire conversation. And I can't tell you how many times we hear stories of people telling us how many different interactions they've had because of their bracelets, where
it's
they
a conversation
connect
starter,
over the
for sure.
conversation.
Yeah,
because you're
it's like,
wearing your story right on your wrist.
You have a sunshine one, I see.
Exactly.
That's a beautiful one.
Thank
you. I'm trying to steal your bracelet.
Yeah. I'll give it to you.
Okay. She's my sunshine over there.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
All right, so keep it on going. Let's talk about the strong mission that you guys have. With you guys do also have this double bottom line in some cases. So let's talk about that. Where you actually are doing the, partnering with charities and trying to get people behind this, but also do good. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, so we do very luckily have a product that makes it so easy to build community within your community. So we work with a lot of nonprofits, a lot of different brands. We've had some incredible collaborations. And most of the time it's because they want to activate their community in a real way. So that's where they bring in the little word. We do work with a lot of nonprofits. Baby to Baby is one of our big nonprofits that we work with. Yeah. We're
not here,
no,
but here. Yeah, maybe they are here. I don't know.
Everyone is here, honestly.
Yeah,
so
right. There's a lot of people here. You're right.
Yeah, but we work with these nonprofits, and we have them. We co-create a design together, and they put it up. We put it up on our website. We sell as well as in our retail stores, and with some of our wholesale partners. And we sell that bracelet and give 25% of the profits back to that nonprofit at the end of the day. So we do have that social impact. That was something that I was committed to from the very start. In the very first month, I was doing a give back initiative. So it's very much so important to our brand. We've donated just over $750,000 since starting the Little Words Big Impact, which is...
That's your own
So
thing.
that's the
program.
The whole story of the program, and that official program started in 2021. And frankly, prior to 2021, we just had not been amazing at tracking the total donated dollars. But I would say it's well over $1 million.
So you can track it better.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So keeping on that with that kind of line of thinking, you design something with them. Each one's different. Each one can be a little bit different. You've got what it says, but then I see yours are really blinged out.
Yeah, so we actually about 50% of our products that we sell are custom. So we have an entire customizable feature on our website, which has been a huge driver for our brand. You can come on, you can make your kids' names, you can make anything that delights you and that you want to wear on your wrist.
Go to the website. What's the website?
Go to the website. It's littlewordsproject.com. We also have 12 retail stores nationwide in various incredible cities.
Can you little almost like make them together with people?
Exactly.
Is that a community aspect of what you do?
Exactly. So that's one of the big community building aspects. We have a retail store right here in Austin, actually, in the Domain. And you can go in and sit down and be a part of our community of creating kindness together. And you sit, and so many people interact over the things that they go through in their lives. And the bracelets have helped so many people through so many different things.
Yeah.
Starting as a young girl who was bullied to either any number of reasons any number of things that we might be dealing with as women, as people in general. The bracelets have really helped, and we see girls, as young as your daughter to grandmothers wearing and sporting this product, which makes us really intergenerational.
Right, that's really interesting. And there was discussion about that earlier this week with some of the sessions. There's a big one with on Women's International Women's Day, especially, and the numbers are pretty terrible, right?
Yeah.
We know that as far as what social media can do and all the different things out there, and you mentioned it earlier. So I love that angle of it and being able to do that. So curious if you have thought about doing anything, do you have your own aspect of like a nonprofit or anything else you're thinking about doing? Or?
Yeah, so we actually do have our own nonprofit. It's called Herself Co., and it's essentially made to it's a curriculum-based nonprofit that is meant to inspire and provide young women with the tools that they need to navigate life's difficulties. So with our mental health toolkit, we've worked with a psychiatrist to create this program that can be hand-delivered, and it's really easy. It's bite-sized. It's like quick little nuggets that can change your outlook and your perspective on yourself, and then how you encounter the world as a young woman.
I love that.
Thank you.
And I also noticed, I was leaned over, I was looking at you have a necklace as well. Is that new? Is that something people can buy, or is that just special?
No, we have a few. We have another.
Not that specific one.
No, we have another layer of the brand, actually called Little Layers, and it's meant to be worn with the product. So we've constantly been asked, like, how do I get the look on your wrist? And I mix it and match it with other different brands. Yeah. So we wanted to create kind of that one-stop shop for our consumer. Also looking to drive up our AOV and keep people in the door and almost just take over their entire jewelry wardrobe with Little Words Project. And it's so far been a really incredible extra edition, and that's also shoppable at all of our stores. And hopefully soon Target, which is currently a retailer of ours.
I know there's some fans of Target here.
Yes.
That's for sure.
I believe it.
And so I also wanted to talk a little bit about, right now it's very focused on, well, it's not totally focused, but you mentioned a lot of focus on women and whatnot. Can men wear them? I mean, I have one on too. I don't know. Is that normal? Do people?
Absolutely. I mean, the product is really just meant to inspire anybody who's looking for that dose of inspiration and encouragement. Yeah. So we have everybody, no matter how you identify or who you are welcome in our community. Great. We're all about inclusivity and community. It just so happened that a young girl started it because of her female experience, but my experience as being bullied or what have you wasn't unique to being a female. It was really just I just happened to identify that way. So it started with me, but it's grown from there. And I always say, as I've grown as a person and entered all the new chapters of my life, the brand has grown with me. So it started out very collegiate, sorority, girly, and then it entered into adulthood and then motherhood. And boy mom is one of our best sellers, and I am a boy mom. So the brand has really grown, and I'm really proud of where it is now and how it can touch truly just anyone at any part of their life.
All right, we're gonna go dark for a second, and then we're gonna come back on a high note. So I know starting up is hard, right?
Yeah.
And starting up business anytime is hard. Yeah. You started up, kept this going for a long time. I'm curious how that went. Did you, when you probably first started, you were probably just hustling.
Yeah.
You still are hustling, but how did that all go? And what are some of the highs and lows, if you can remember?
I mean, it's been a journey, to say the least.
Yeah. What's the lowest low?
Well, the lowest low for me was actually personal. I was trying to conceive and ended up having to go through IVF to conceive my first child. And that was in the thick of building a business.
That's hard, yeah.
Those two things, like, you don't think that they're one and the same, but when you are a woman and you're trying to be a mother and you're a CEO, I mean, they're just inextricably bound. So it was really hard to do both. And, you're wanting you have this desire to be a mom while also wanting to build a business. It's very hard sometimes to separate the two. In fact, it's impossible. And so in many ways, I did show up as I was, and it wasn't always the best version of myself as a CEO. And I luckily had an incredible team that supported me through that journey and picked up the pieces where I was dropping the ball. So that was probably one of the hardest parts. I mean, building a team is always difficult, but trying to find the right people is the most important part probably of building. And then, I'd say as far as highs go, I mean, getting into some incredible, having incredible partners like Nordstrom and Target in 900 stores nationwide is huge. And then opening these retail stores. And we did all of that bootstrapped. So we bootstrapped the first 10 years.
Let me get applause for that.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
That's hustle.
We're really proud of that story. And, we bootstrapped to $20 million in revenue. And then just then got to a place where we can start accepting, but we fell into lockstep with one of our landlords, actually, at one of our retail locations, who it was just this beautiful little dance, and we decided let's work together. So he's a very minority investor in the brand, and I'm still very much so majority owner, and really just proud of that story and how far we've come since then too, which is only just last year. It was our first investment.
Wow, that's great.
Thank you.
And that's hard too.
It's hard. I think that's the thing that you don't see that story a lot. It's always the kind of sexy, like your seed founded.
Yeah,
no,
like
but even other brands that get their funding at the very
No,
beginning
it's-
of like, you know, and it's like they become like the Glossiers of the world, which is a tentpole brand for us. We love them.
Yeah.
But you never hear about the people that are just like grinding it out in their parents' basement.
And that's you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you never hear that they really do succeed at the end
Yeah.
of the day because everyone's so focused on like who's funding you and how
Right.
were you raising and what round are you in and all that. And we just kind of got to fly under the radar with doing it the way we have, which poised us for real success when Taylor Swift did come along and the friendship bracelet became her thing. People got to look around and see that we've already been here for a decade. And
Yeah.
this is the actual original word bracelet. And it got people really excited.
You are the original one?
Well, the original one brought back to the market, yes. I mean,
Wow.
as far as the original ones are probably what we were all making
Right,
in camp
right,
back
right,
in the
right.
day.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm not
right,
claiming
right.
that.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
listen, if
Yeah.
it gets you in the door, then come on in and I'll tell you the real story.
Right, no, that's great.
Yeah.
That makes, I mean, your highlight, this bootstrap thing is very impressive.
Yes.
And obviously, you owning a majority of the company at this point is fantastic. So
Thank you.
Keep that going as
Thank
long
you.
as you can.
Thank you.
And, so let's talk a little bit. We're about to wrap. I know we're about time. So is there anything else coming up on the horizon that you're excited about? And I guess talk about that, and then just one last tip about for anyone. We got a lot of listeners here that are entrepreneurs, and we're in the Founders Lounge. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we're just really excited for how we're going to continue to activate our community in a real robust way. We've got nationwide retreats that we're hosting at each of our locations coming down the pike. We've got more retail stores opening. We're opening in King of Prussia Mall and Roosevelt Field Mall out in Pennsylvania and Long Island, respectively. But we've got stores all over the country. We're really excited to bring the brand into as many cities as possible. And really just kind of highlight that in-person experience, which is what makes us so unique and so different from a lot of the retail out there. And it's going to, I hope, make us a real driver of change in the retail landscape. And then as far as, pieces of advice for founders or just people going through it, it's just keep on keeping on, keep grinding, keep working towards your dream. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. I can't tell you how many people laughed at me when I showed them my product, and in some cases still to this day. And, I'm hopefully the one with the last laugh as I can look at the numbers and see that we've definitely been able to capitalize on something that there was a really a need for it, right? As far as something that is a community driver. And I see you even getting emotional talking about your daughter and looking at your daughter.
I thought it was just moisture in here. I don't know.
It was very cute.
Yeah.
But it's like this next generation of people we want to uplift and inspire and be a part of. You're such a sweet. Wow, what a great guy.
I have no further questions.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep. Let's hear it.